What's up, Atlas here. Just gonna go over some basic supporting tips and tricks. You know, stacking and pulling, stuff like that. So we got about 34 seconds before the game begins here. I recommend starting off with 8 tangos. Seems excessive, seems like something the guy over in this lane should be doing. But really, as a support, you're gonna want them because if you're playing correctly, you're not taking last hits, you're actually supporting your carry, stacking and pulling, you're probably going to have low levels. But you got to know how to pull experience out of the map. You got to know how to pull gold out of the map because your carry and your mid are not going to give you anything. But let's talk about one of my favorite things to do as a support, harass. Like Keeper of the Light is probably one of the best harassers in the game. So maybe he's not the best example for this, but you know, let's say you got the enemy hero, and you don't really want him in your lane. You're gonna harass him. You know, you're gonna be careful about it. Stuff like that, and you're gonna pull the creeps onto you. It's not good.
I bring dark's banishment.
Point is, let's say you overextend. You got this guy chasing you. He wants to kill you. And let's pretend you have less health, but I'm not really gonna do that right now. Favorite juke path? Right through here. 3 tangos. It costs you 3 tangos, but I mean, hey, that's your life right there. As a support, you should really know juke paths because you're gonna be the ones carrying tangos. Juke paths are the most beneficial to you, and you know, carries, of course you should know them too, but juke paths are honestly in the early game more crucial to supports. You know, a lot of people don't actually use their tangos to eat through trees to get through to places unless they're just stacking and pulling. Like, you know, let's say you're pulling from this camp, you know, you just eat that tree right there and you're pulling. That's the most I ever really see a support use a tango for besides healing. I don't see a whole lot of jukes. Not gonna kill my pledge. So yeah, let's go over stacking pulling. I guess since I'm already over here, we'll start with the dire side.
Missing top.
It's kind of unfortunate because I can't see that side really. I guess I can just do this. Nobody gonna fuck with Roshan.
Where to?
He'll give me a heads up where the creeps are. Alright, now I missed my chance to stack, but you know, that's just alright, there's the creep. So you should probably go ahead and attack. Pull them out. There it is. Of course, I'm not on the dire side, so this isn't nearly as convenient because I can't really see what's going on right now, so I'm going to do this to best my ability. Make sure you get these last hits. Oh, missed that one. Oh, and I made a mistake here. I should have pulled away earlier, seeing as how weak those creeps are. I should have pulled into the second wave here. That was my bad. So now, basically what I've just done to my lane is I'm going to get a big pushing wave. Because now there's multiple creeps to push. And that's going to hurt my lane if these guys weren't following me, because I'm not actually on the dire side.
What?
Yeah. So let's pretend you are on the Radiant side and you want some free experience. Simply just walk out into their lane and then suck them back over here to your tower. Of course, now I have no way to tank this.
Yes.
Anyway, let's see if I can get them back to my old creep wave. Of course, my creep wave is going to get wrecked now. This is just too many creeps for them to handle. But then again, I'm Keeper of the Light. I can fix that.
A light pours out of me. I'll keep it close.
As a support, though, remember, don't take your carry's last hits. If he leaves the lane, last hits are all yours. But until then, stay away. Alright, so I need to pull this camp. I need to stack it. Now, usually I wouldn't use an ability to do that, but I was about to run out of time there. This camp should now be stacked. Yeah, it is. Alright, cool. I mean, Keeper of the Lights, you know, he's pretty okay to use an ability on, but
'Tis hardly a challenge.
Just because he can get his mana back and whatnot, but usually you want to avoid using
By
abilities.
your leave.
Now, with a double stack, you may not have to double pull, but you know, it doesn't hurt to do that anyway. Yeah, see, double stacks actually tend to wreck your creeps. You probably won't have to double pull if you have a stack. Yeah, you won't have to.
Stand aside.
Your
or
middle
be
tower
trampled.
is under attack.
I am honored.
And if I'd actually been more careful there, I could have pulled
Your
again, but
middle tower is under attack.
I can just pull them anyway, because that's the hero I'm playing.
The enemy's
And now
top
I've actually
tower
already taken
has
that tower,
fallen.
but of course, you know, if this is a real game, that probably would not have happened unless
Your middle
the
tower
other
is under
team was
attack.
horribly incompetent. So yeah. With my items, if you didn't notice, I started off with 8 tangos, 1 salve,
Your
and 2
middle
branches.
tower is under attack.
And I bought a courier. That all fit within the 625 gold limit. You know, depending unless you take more time to get your hero,
What's that
you
you
know,
say?
you should be okay. So let's go ahead and buy more tangos and just,
Now, where was I?
I'll drop these boots to make this more realistic, and we'll pretend we had just started over here.
The
Although I will
honor
buy a
is
TP to get over there, this is going to take forever.
Yes.
Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and miss this, but it's okay, I'll just stack the camp.
By your
At
leave.
52 or 53 seconds is usually when you want to do it. I prefer 53.
My quest
Just run them off to the
continues.
side over here. That's kind of hard though because that little shit over there is sitting back and healing. So I probably just missed this stack. Yep,
I'll ride ahead.
that's too bad. I'll just pull.
Cast a bright light here.
It's always better to be early than late with these things because I was a little early there, but it still pulled through. It was all right. This guy is a dick and he doesn't want to move, so I'm definitely gonna make sure he dies. Go ahead and get ready for the double pull here.
Your bottom
Nice,
tower
got some
is under
centaurs.
attack.
Attack.
And yeah, so like you want to make sure you get
Your
double
bottom
pulled here
tower
because
is
if you
under
don't,
attack.
your lane will push for like just way too far. And of course, if this was a real game, there'd be somebody here taking up this farm and taking these creeps to keep them off the tower, and there wouldn't be a catapult at the first wave. You probably shouldn't be pulling the first wave anyway, but that's beside the point.
Where were we?
Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and give myself some gold.
Allow
And
me.
we'll go back to base. Because we'll talk about the next thing. A lot of supports fail to do is be discreet about warding. And buying the courier on time. Look at that. 7.5 minute flying courier. Worst support, North America.
I am honored.
Alright, so yeah, let's go over discreetly warding. If you don't know what shift queuing is, now is the time to learn. Because shift queuing is really
Shine on.
just glorious. Let's say, you know, I got shift queue, illuminate, and then double click EE. I immediately immediately use chakra magic on myself after that's over. There's no delay whatsoever. So let's see if I don't shift queue and then I do EE. Well, you know, instantly clicking it just cancels that. So let's try this again. You can still do it, but shift queuing will do it even faster. Plus, you don't run the risk of canceling your ability.
What?
Shift queuing is a good way to. It can bypass animations. Sometimes, not all the time. Sometimes the game will actually go through the full animation and it won't be as good. So let's say you're warding over here. Oh, you're denying a rune from the enemy's carry. But
Allow me.
you're running through the river. Enemy has this warded, but you don't know that. And you walk over here and you just do this business and you just stand right there for a second. It's kind of like, that's whenever me and all my friends say, just start pinging this spot. Look at that dumbass, he just warded.
My quest.
We see it.
Your bottom tower
Well,
is
instead you
under
can shift
attack.
Q. Oh, I misclicked right there. Shift Q.
Yes.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
Look at that, I barely even twitched.
Where to?
Like, it's so hard to notice. I would not, if I, you know, whenever we see somebody come by on our wards, we always check them to make sure they're not warding. I probably would have said that person didn't ward unless I like, you know, although I do know that little twitch, I might actually say that you warded. I might call it and tell my friends to deward.
What's that you say?
But your average
Your top
player
tower is
won't
under
notice
attack.
that.
The light shines.
Chances are I probably wouldn't have noticed it, to be honest. And that's a lot better.
Your top tower is under attack.
Dewarding, or not dewarding, sorry, blocking camps. When you're playing against certain heroes, you need to know to block certain camps. Your teammates and you need to talk about this ahead of time as well. Because, you know, like in our games, when we're playing up against an Enigma, we want to make sure his camps are thoroughly blocked. Let me see, one second, I'm going to go back to base, pick up sentries, and we'll go over blocking camps. You're not necessarily going to need 26 wards to block camps, but, you know, hey, why not?
By your leave.
Anyway, go ahead and pick this. Well, you've regenerated all the way, Pudge, nice.
The honor
Anyway.
is mine.
So, blocking camps. This camp right here can be easily blocked by putting a ward right there.
I am
Right.
honored.
Oh, hello. Right there. Or if you're, you know,
Allow me.
if you want, just right inside the camp itself. Who cares? Now I'm gonna go ahead and level myself all the way up so I can do some creep clearing here. Alright, so we'll come back at the minute mark, see if that's blocked. Go ahead and clear this too.
A leading light.
This is for sure going to be blocked because I'm way too close, or maybe not. Alright, that spot will block this camp. We'll come back and check that at the next minute mark while we go over these next
Your
4
middle
spots.
tower is under attack.
My quest continues. Yes.
Okay, these camps don't have as
Your middle tower
Super
is under
discreet.
attack.
blocking spots, but that, you know, chances like that you can also still make it hard enough to deward with, like, to the point where they're
Your
basically
middle
gonna have to
tower
block
is
their
under
camp to
attack.
counter or to deward you. Just go ahead and clear out this camp. And actually, I'm not 100% sure about that one right there. I'm not sure if that's actually gonna work. It should work, but once again, not entirely 100% sure.
By your leave.
No super discreet spot for this. Either that spot or that spot. I'm not entirely sure that one works either, but hey, whatever. At this point right now, it doesn't exactly matter. That for sure blocks this camp,
A milestone.
but unfortunately there's a camp there. Can't really tell right now. We'll check this one at the next minute mark. Anyway, blocking camps is really important, especially against an Enigma. Enigmas are extremely good farmers. Okay, as you can see, this is blocked. This is obviously blocked just because that ward for sure guarantees it. This is blocked,
What's that?
and
you
this is
say?
blocked. That ward may work, not entirely sure 100%, but these two right here, 100% work.
Where to?
The radius for blocking on this camp is like super weird,
Now,
but
where was I?
that's Volvo's business, not mine.
Shine on.
I'm not sure if it was like that back in Dota 1, but hey. Also, really superb warding spots. Right here, if you're warding, if you want to cover this area right here, this is the best spot you can do it. It gets really good coverage of this way. It covers a little bit down here, so you can catch somebody running from the rune. You can catch people running to go into their jungle. Everyone knows of the uber ward spot up here. It's also going to be really likely to get dewarded. So let's see the range of a sentry up here. That's where people usually, like 99% of the time, place their sentry. You want a ward that accomplishes a similar job. Hope maybe get a quelling blade, chop these 2 trees down. Even then, that really doesn't even matter that much. You could honestly just put it right there and you'll get the same vision, I think. Let's see. Yeah, this sentry ward doesn't cover that. You still get the vision. I'm not sure if this will block though. That's a kind of interesting thing. I'm not sure about that. Most likely will not block. I'm pretty sure it doesn't. But the point is, this is a ward that covers about the same thing. You're not gonna get the vision in lane, but this is way less likely to get dewarded unless you're playing against somebody who will deward like this. Which is how I recommend dewarding this area, because there's wards are very likely to get placed over here and over here and over here. Especially if somebody watches this video. but nobody watches them. Anyway,
A
whenever my team
milestone.
dewards, we place our sentries here because it covers this spot up here and any other wards that may be on the ground down
What's
here.
that you say?
When you're dewarding over here, you probably want to just go ahead and get this one right here, because a lot of people like to ward on that stairway, they like to ward over here, and it covers that spot.
Tis hardly
If there's a one ward over here, I wouldn't even worry about it that much, but if there is, you might, if you're really worried about it, just go ahead and place another one over here. Actually, you probably shouldn't even do it right there, you probably do it over here. Yeah, that's a lot better, because you can get these two
By
stairways.
your leave.
Because I like, sometimes I like to place a ward right here, because it's not likely to get dewarded, and it gives you a decent vision of the tower.
Now, where was I?
Anyway, so we'll go over to the radiant side.
I'll ride ahead.
We'll talk radiant side. Camp blocking. Honestly, if you place wards like this, it's so hard for them to deward it without actually blocking their own camps. So, I mean, radiant side's extremely hard to
Your
deward. I
middle
think
tower
also
is
a ward
under
up here
attack.
can work. Not really sure how hard it is to get to that
Yes.
spot though. I mean, I guess if you go down there and then click it up there.
I am
Your
honored.
middle tower is
Right
under
here,
attack.
I do believe this works. We'll test that out in just a second, or we'll see at the minute mark. We'll check that back on that one at the minute mark. Right there, I believe that works. Maybe that one. Over here, this should work. I'm pretty sure I blocked these camps by standing here, so honestly we'll just check back in on that in a minute.
Shines.
But for now we'll check these camps. Oh, I forgot to clear this one out. That'd be my fault. Well, that's just because I knew for sure it would be blocked, but I guess, yeah. Anyway. 30 seconds and we'll check that. Once again, just don't forget about shift Q walking and then, just do this. And it's just a very slight twitch. Of course, you'll actually want to click further away than right there because you're going to stop right there and I'm going to notice you and then I'm going to say, hey, deward that.
Haste.
With the haste, I'm not sure how inconspicuous you'll be with the haste, but we'll try this.
What's that you say?
Just the same thing. Also, good warding spots. I like this spot right here because it gets a good vision of this camp right here. I've gotten plenty of good ganks off of that ward.
The honor is mine.
Early game, this is a great warding spot. It covers the rune and possible ganks incoming over here in the jungle.
Where to?
But if you should only be placing a ward here once, in my opinion. If you place another observer ward up there, you've thoroughly wasted a ward. The spot up here is also good. Either spot on the side of this dire rock is
I'll
good.
ride ahead.
This gives good vision of Roche Pit. This gives good vision of the jungle and somewhat decent vision of
My
Roche Pit.
quest continues.
This is also a sentry ward, so it's not giving, you don't really get to see the real radius of how good an observer ward is. Also, this spot right here, good observer ward spot.
Allow me.
Pro observer ward right there. It's very liable to get dewarded, especially if the other team is smart enough to actually put the sentry ward in the river like it's supposed to be.
The light
So,
shines.
while I have the ward shipped out, we'll go ahead and check this camp real quick while we're waiting. Yeah, blocked. Either of these two spots will block it. Blocked, 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 blocked. And this is blocked too. Alright. So let's go over how you want to deward the river spots. Okay. Preferably, your best ward is right here. That covers the entire dire rock, the spot where this little peninsula right here, I don't know what you really want to call it, but this little grass crap over here is probably going to get warded. And it also covers right up here. Notice how my pro ward is right inside of the range. So actually, if you want to avoid that, you really just place one further back. It's slightly worse vision, but way less likely to get dewarded. First of all, this isn't very likely to get dewarded anyway, because a lot of people,
My quest
at least in my bracket, I'm sick of being in this bracket, but they don't put their wards in the right spot.
By your leave.
They like to put them up here. They say, oh, well, I think they put the ward up there. You know, if you see them put the ward up there, okay, that's nice. You got the deward, but your sentry is essentially worthless now because if I see you deward that way, if you put your sentry up there, I might honestly not even deward you. Like I might get rid of your observer, but leave. And then, yeah, I'll probably deward you, I guess. Point is, I might, if I don't feel like it's safe to deward though, I might just go ahead and sneak an observer right up here because I'll notice that, or like I know that this one right here doesn't cover all the way over here,
Your top tower is under attack.
and you won't know my observer's there. Or I could put one over here. You won't know it's there, especially if I do my little shift Q trick.
Your top tower is under
Anyway,
attack.
basically the same principle applies over here. You want to get it in the river. Of course, not nearly as close to this side. It's going to be closer to probably, I think it's right here.
Your top tower is under attack.
Honestly, this one's a lot harder to do. You really are going to be dewarding on this side, which is nice though, because not many people ward up here anyway. You're only going to.
Your top tower is under attack.
You can get it, I guess, if they ward right here. It's right on the line, I think.
Yes.
Let's see. Yeah, I think that's right on the line. You probably
Your
can't
top
see it with
tower
that
is
sentry.
under
So
attack. Your top
I guess,
tower has
let's see.
fallen.
this one, yeah, you can get away with that one because people usually, I don't think people usually ward all the way back here and back here. So you can, if you do it like that, slightly closer to the cliff, you'll cover the best warding spot. It'll cover both of the good warding spots. But if you know for sure they put one up here, it won't be completely wrong to just put a sentry up there because you know, the sentries give that temporary vision, and if you don't want to have to waste an observer ward up here, a sentry up here would be nice for the temporary vision just to deward. That's one of the few times you can get away with just putting a sentry all the way up here instead of in the river. Also, some people do like to ward up here. I really hate this spot in my, like, just to be honest, because it doesn't cover the rune. It's so close to the rune, but it doesn't actually cover it, which just infuriates me. But that's just me. Because you can't ward over here, which, why, Volvo, why? A ward here would be so amazing.
A milestone.
But, yeah, it's not very likely that this will be an actual ward location, which makes it actually a pretty decent spot to ward. Just because people usually won't look there. People, you know, like me, I hate that spot. I'd be like, why would anybody do that? They're insane. But in reality, it's more like, why wouldn't you do that spot? Because it gives really good coverage of the jungle over here, and it doesn't get dewarded.
Your middle tower has fallen.
To be honest, though, I probably really won't use that spot. But let's, you know, I got some observers now. Let's see how much vision that actually gives.
Shine on.
Just out of reach of the rune. But look at all this vision.
You say?
This is glorious. You can see anybody going to farm this. It's great if they have an Enigma, Anti-Mage, anyone relying on the jungle, really. So let's see how good a vision you get from this ward that I was mentioning earlier over here.
I am honored.
Alright, yeah, so it looks like you do actually want to chop down those trees. Or in my case, pumpkins. But really,
A leading
yeah,
light.
you should really cut down those trees.
Your middle tower is under
Because
attack.
this won't get dewarded because people usually place their sentry 9 times out of 10 up here. Oops. 9 times out of 10 they place
Your
it up here.
middle tower is under
In reality,
attack.
you should really place it right there. So supports, if you're watching this, make sure your sentry goes here, not here. You'll still be able to deward this because you're probably
Your
going to put your own
middle tower
observer up
is
there. If
under
you're smart,
attack.
like if they're putting observers there, it's time for you to go ahead and get your own observer up there. Because that means they're trying to get aggressive, and you're going to need to be able to see them.
My quest
So yeah,
continues.
I think that's it for support tips and tricks. Just another thing, real quick. If your team is roaching and you're not Vengeful Spirit or anybody who can really do anything, like if you're Coddle, please don't go into the Roach Pit, because the more, like, it's just a bigger chance for them to see you actually going into the Roach Pit. You don't want to aggro Roach out of the pit. Like, let's say you got, I've got my Observer Ward up here. It's missing the vision right there. I might have placed that a little bit too far to the right. Try that one. No? Okay, apparently it doesn't give, okay, well, that's my bad. Anyway.
Your
Yeah.
bottom tower
Yeah,
is under
like,
attack.
just the more people that file into Roach Pit, the higher chance you are of getting spotted if you didn't smoke in. Or maybe you were warding like you should be, and the rest of your team smoked in. If the rest of your team smoked in and you weren't in that smoke, and you don't have a blink dagger or some way to enter without, you know,
I'll
not
ride
going through the
ahead.
river and becoming really obvious, you need to just not go in. As
By
much as you
your
may want to be a
leave.
part of the group, you just shouldn't go in. You're a dead giveaway to your team roshing.
Allow
What you can do
me.
instead is just push a lane. Force the other team to look at a lane and not think about, oh hey, where's their team? They might be roshing, because they'll see, oh hey, there's a guy over here pushing. Why would they rosh without their whole team? Now, of course, when it's just a coddle, it's like, yeah, why would you actually have that guy
The
roshing with you?
enemy's
But
middle tower
in
has
reality,
fallen.
just keeping their minds off of rosh
Yes.
is the most important thing when your team is trying to rosh. Okay, so yeah, now I think that's all I've got for tips and tricks. I didn't go over all the warding spots, of course. I just went over really common ones and how to
Where was
deward.
I?
Other good spots are over here. But yeah, I think that's all I've got for today. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe. If you like this video, want to see videos similar to this one, just tell me in the comments. I read all the comments. Um, yeah, if you have a suggestion for what do you think I should do next, just tell me in the comments. I'll check it out. I'll see what I think. I'll probably do it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Hope you guys watch again. Thanks.